brother Kasim.
All right, brother.
Some of you know me, some of you don't. I don't have a whole lot to say. I never really do. I'd like to thank the sisters for cooking, because the brothers can't.
Go, Queen.
Did what you cook?
Go, Queens and Kings.
I just want to, I'm excited. I'm happy. And this thing is beginning to grow. I'm lost for words, the support. I am the founder of the Urban Black Football League, only all black youth football league in the city, but in the state that I know of. We will be starting a manhood piece, basically a Black Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Yeah. Then my brother back here, Leo Lewis, the president of the Malcolm X Foundation. He will be assisting us on that, and a part of that program. I just want to thank my brother Leo as well for opening up the doors for us here and just, getting the ball rolling. I don't say a whole lot, I just do the work. Brother Terry just tried to get me to come up here and do a whole lecture, that's not my, but I just want to thank everybody for the support. Thank you.
My name is Franklin.
All right.
I'd like to greet you all with Assalamu alaikum. I joined the BAA because I want to make a difference, That's really it. And just to let you all know, the doors are open to anyone who wants to be a part of this and to make that difference. We all have ideas, we're a community, we need to work together.
Yes, sir.
That's really it. Thank you all for coming out.
So no, this organization is just because my wife over here, who's my backbone.
All right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead, Queen.
And Sister Kedra, that's like the little sister to me. We're both a part of the organization. We got a couple other ladies too, so this is just not a male-based organization.
I was wondering.
All right, and that's all that I have to say. I'll let Larry, Brother Larry, speak a little bit about the BAA. I'll let you do that. She asked if we can speak about it.
All right,
More details.
All right, I was going to say, I thought we just said quite a bit. It's quite a few of them up here that can talk. So saying things is the idea of the Black Agenda Alliance is really to in a determined fashion, in a quiet fashion, but real fashion, knit as many grassroots organizations in the community together as possible. To knit organizations together, to work together, to identify the things that are important to us as a community. So when you say an agenda, what are the things that are important to us as a community? And what we did was we did a survey. And some of you may have taken the survey. And so we didn't want to come to the community and say, this is what's important to you. We wanted to ask you your beliefs and your perspective and your understanding. So we did a survey. We had a couple of focus groups that we put together, and we asked certain questions. And then from that, we have crafted what we call an agenda for us as a community. And so that includes education, it includes economics, it includes strengthening the family, it includes, one of the things that we found that was really interesting was many of the sessions that we had, people spoke about I'll call it our pain, Black pain, and what society calls mental health, but really you can kind of miss the whole understanding when you say mental health. When a person, I'm a mental health professional, so when a person is suffering from a mental health condition, ordinarily we think of that as somebody who is either hearing something, seeing something that's not there, somehow full control over their mind and their faculties they don't have. So overall, everybody understands that as a mental health problem. What we don't understand in terms of our experience as black people, we have a measure of trauma and pain that's unique to us.
Yes.
We've been through some things that historically, and still going through some things, and we'll go through some things going forward that are unique to our struggle as a people. So one of the things that came out of that those focus groups is the need for those things to be addressed. So we've already put together a program. It's called the Emotional Emancipation Circles, and we're already developing that, and we're training people. We're actually training people throughout that's going to take that concept throughout the community as a way to bring about healing and growth. That we have created safe space for people to come together and to talk about and process and have a curriculum for addressing what I call black pain and black healing. So when you look at the issues, they're not, it doesn't take really an Einstein. We need economic power. We need to collectively come together and pool our resources to buy land, to buy property.
Yes.
The only way that we can prevent anybody else from buying it is to buy it first. And one of the things that we have agreed upon, and if you agree with it also, you can indicate after I tell you about it. You can say "Ashe" if you agree with it also. One of the things we have agreed on is that we're not taking any outside money.
Thank you, Lord.
We have set that as an agreement. We believe that we got to fund what we do. We got to fund it ourselves. And we believe that if we don't do that, then it becomes a struggle to be able to have a free voice, so to speak on things that somebody may not necessarily like. If I'm giving you, then it's challenging. It's not impossible. There are people who are doing it. There's people that have been able to balance that. But we believe that it's important to set as an agenda for us that we've got to be self-sufficient, we've got to be self-supporting, we've got to pool whatever we have to do whatever it is that we need to do. So in the way of education, in the way of the children, in the way of economics, in the way of political involvement and political education, these are all the kinds of things that we want to begin to roll out in regards to programs to the community. And so to make a long story short, to identify an agenda for us, for you, that your voice is involved in, and to collectively come together to work on that agenda in different committees, understanding that the more people you have that's working on any agenda, the more you can get done, and also understanding that our unity has been fought for so long.
Say it.
Our unity, it's so deep that we actually, without knowing it, we fight each other our own self. Not understanding that the fear that people have of us as black people is us coming together around any identified agenda that we can come together on that puts fear in the minds of people. And so we've also identified that it's not going to be about one person. It's not going to be, that's why we're all up here. It's not going to be not one person standing up front, I'm the one, I'm the target. No. If they're going to get at us, they might get at all of us. We are all co-chairs. We recognize each other's strength. We're not bothered by any shine that anyone gets. Somebody gets shine, let them shine. Whoever you want to give shine to, let them shine. We're not bothered by that because we know behind the scene we're all working together. Does that make sense to you? So that's a little bit that I can say about it. That will be all right? Okay.
All right, thank you. Everybody, thank the Black Agenda Alliance again. Because of them, we are here today. So, like they said, everything was so funny. We did this ourselves. We didn't ask for, well, we did ask for donations, but it was from the community. So technically, we did it ourselves, right? All right. So we have more poets coming up. We have Brother Shamari. If you want to come, or Johnny No Good, whichever one of y'all But we would love to have either one of y'all come up.
All right now.
All right, everybody give it up for Shamari.
Come on now. Yes.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
All right, all right.
Good. It's a blessing to be here. I see some family. I see some friends in the room. This is a beautiful thing. We need to do this more often. Ashe?
Ashe.
So, that's all right. Share a piece with y'all. Before I do, I want to let you know, Monday at 6 p.m. at Noah Free Clinic, 5620 Ames, we're having a community reading feed. So all my readers, readers are leaders. So we're encouraging all of our readers on Nia Purpose, Monday, Noah Free Clinic, 5620 Ames Avenue. All right?
All right.
So this first piece is called Hood. H-O-O-D, Hood. Okay. I'm moving bricks, building pyramids. I'm chronically telling it how it is. I'ma claim my hood, high off of determination. I'm no good with these conversations, here's my statement. I'm sipping lean back with some H2O. Envisioning my people blessed around the globe. Maneuvering around these haters trying to stop my globe. Stop and frisk, it ain't no stop and show, I'm on the go. Great men fall too, that's a law too. You be hard pressed not to let gravity be fall. Walls fall too, history taught you. Guess you wasn't paying attention to your mentions, claiming you were offensive and you pretensive. And you don't build schools, you build prisons. And we at odds, cause you division. And you got clout, cause you be simping. Cause you be simping. Hood, high off of determination. Hood, high off of determination.
Yes, sir.
Hood. All right, that's the first. All right. The new topic of conversation is the manifestation of Satan. It's a 6'9" black man, and he lurking in your neighborhood. Sight? But I bet the message clearly understood. Birthrights to get painted as some common criminal. All lives don't matter, them crimes be minimal. Meanwhile, the turnstile at the courthouse spinning like merry-go. And there he go again. Another one of them black men face to face with the system. Hung out on a limb, it's exceeding epidemic. Jail cells done reach their limit. Hold facts, no skimming. Handed us lemons, then took the seeds away. No more sipping lemonade. Inmate to eliminate. Let me demonstrate. Black child in a womb, can you even picture that? Growing stronger every day, full term on track, but still born with complications. The complexion of his skin, rich in melanin, that make him akin to a target. We just getting started, cause you know how they labeled him retarded. Now he good and medicated, he easily frustrated from attention degradation and now the school running out of patience. No rinse and repeat. Now he is 18, frequenting the streets. A new freak each week. Same hood, a new beef. In need of release. Triggers gon' get squeezed. Trapped inside a box with no ability to leave. Cause we all in need of guidance, And I pray we can find our way. I just pray we can find our way.
All right now.
I am a member of a band called Wakanda One.
All right
We've been
now.
formed since 2015 before the move. But one thing I do want you to know is that 2020 The vision is becoming much clearer, so y'all look out for Wakanda 1 and some of the things we have to share with our community, locally, internationally. Happy Ujima, everyone. Thank you.
And now we'll go ahead and bring up brother Johnny No Good.
All right. I love the message.
Give it up for Johnny, please.
Yeah.
All right now.
You know how you go somewhere and you expect people to kind of know who you is, and people don't really know who you is? It's kind of how I feel right now.
That's all right.
Hey, we know who you is.
How you doing tonight, man?
You're king.
I don't know too much about Kwanzaa, but I figured today I was gonna wear my green sweater. I got my little turtleneck buttoned up, looking like Mr. Rogers' stepson and stuff, man. But it's beautiful to see everybody in here, man. And yeah, man, 2020, huh? It's crazy, man. This first piece I'm gonna do, well, I guess this only piece I'm gonna do is called "Can I Live?" And it's just a question, man. Can I live out here, man? Because a lot of times it just seems like we just be existing.
Say it.
Could y'all cut this mic off for me?
Life is a pain in the anus like a hemorrhoid. It ain't hard to see that a part of me has always been void from when everybody got work, but ain't nobody employed. I'ma work the hardest to make sure a hot meal was enjoyed every day. Gotta pay dues, you ain't get the invoice. Was taught when you make your moves, you gotta use your invoice. Cause them actions speak louder than words. And for the powder and herb, them young goons who keep the doctors at work. Most days it feel like these are the end times. My pen begins to fill in the spaces between these thin lines where knowledge forgotten, whole world watching, cause it's been time to restore vision to all God's children who've been blind for too long. Time to move on, the people still oppressed. Look around, you be impressed, but look to him and you be blessed. That's what she whispered under her breath as I was shown the light. And at that moment I knew it had to be more to life. So can I live? Life ain't what I thought it would be. Can I live? It seemed like death promised to me. Can I live? I'm trying to be all I can be in a place where an early grave seems promised to me. So can I live? Life ain't what I thought it would be. Can I live? It seemed like death following me. Can I live? I'm trying to be all I can be in a place where an early grave seems promised to me. They said, dream like you live forever, but live like you die today, every second and minute. Trying to get it, ain't no time to waste. Mama's still struggling, feeling like we never find a way. Life is like a pain, like a window even paid. Windows can hide the pain. At 22, already feeling like an old man. Losing not an option when you're doing it for your whole fam. Life's a old man that doesn't love no man. Try getting her with romance, I still ain't stand no chance. Can't complain about the strain I created the storm. Can't stop it, went to college, tried breaking the norm. But what I got from it wasn't a doctorate, just a 6.8 interest rate on top of my accomplishments.
Well,
Dream chasing, started catching up like condiments. Was told that $1 million is worth less than common sense.
Well,
Get your money, little homie, I ain't knocking it. Cause even if they do me like Pac and Big, I'ma live.
Johnny No Good, everybody.
all right now.
How y'all doing?
All
Y'all
right,
hanging in there? Everybody still woke? We
yeah.
still got y'all attention? Y'all hungry? I'm feeding for two.
All
All right, but before we eat, we got a few guest speakers that's gonna come up. We have two of our electoral candidates. They're gonna come come up here and introduce themselves to get you guys acquainted with them.
All right now.
And then we will end things with Brother Terry Muhammad, and then we shall eat. Y'all ready?
All right, yes.
All right, so Terrell McKinney.
How y'all doing? Again, my name's Terrell McKinney. I'm running for the Nebraska State Legislature here in District 11, which is primarily North Omaha. I'm running because waiting my turn was not an option. I'm also running because what more experience do I need as a black man to be qualified to address our issues in our community?
Well,
We need more leaders that are going to be unapologetic about addressing our issues
thank you.
and not being afraid, not going to take the money, not going to sit silent. We need more people like us in the room to
Yes.
sit at the table. My agenda is unapologetically black because we've been unapologetically oppressed, discriminated against, killed, murdered, and enslaved. As a kid, man, we lived in the projects. And one night, our project got raided. This wasn't the first raid I've been through in my life, but this one always stuck with me because of the way the police treated my mom.
Well,
They treated her like she was nothing. And all I could do was just sit there and scream and watch my mom cry. And it's always stuck to me, so it led me to always want to be better and do more, to never let my mom down, because I don't never want to see her cry again. I went to school, I got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and I'm in law school. But at the end of the day, I'm still black in America. And I'm never going to get that. So I've always made it a point to embrace who I am and embrace who we are. Because I'm never going to let somebody tell me I'm less than. I'm not inferior to nobody.
yes, sir.
And I want all these young black boys and girls to remember that they are great. We are all great. When I talk about criminal justice, it's not just about ending cash bail, addressing sentencing discrepancies, and ending mass incarceration. We must also talk about police accountability. Because if y'all didn't know, the police is still brutalizing our people and doing a lot of things that they shouldn't get away with here in Omaha. It's not just around the country, but nobody's talking about it. We got to hold them accountable. Our prison system right now is currently in a crisis. Overpopulated. It's one of the highest in the country and in the world. They don't have programming to allow people to get out. People are living in conditions that nobody should have to live in. This is America. We talk about other countries that do this to people, but we're not addressing it here with ourselves.
Say it.
Growing up, we had a saying, you make it to 25, you're going to be an OG. Sadly, a lot of my friends and family didn't make it to 25. I lost my best friend in 2013. He was only 22. He got killed in a party. And it hurt me to lose him because he was one of the only people I really talked to about a lot of stuff that I was going through. But too many families in our community are dealing with a lot of stuff and it's not being addressed because they lack the resources. Instead of addressing all these social issues, we got to start addressing the economic issues in our community.
Yes, sir.
North Omaha looks like North Omaha was when I was born in my eyes, and it's really gotten worse. Buildings are being torn down, houses getting torn down, more black people are leaving this city because of lack of opportunity, and it's sad. We got to make changes economically. We need economic equity and opportunity for all our people. North Omaha cannot be left on an island if we want to be here and have a sustainable life. During my freshman year, so after high school, I ended up going to UNO. During my freshman year, I realized how stupid I was. I realized that I really didn't learn nothing in high school. What I'm talking about, I didn't learn how to budget my refund check. I didn't learn how to study. I didn't know how to write papers. I didn't know any of that. Luckily, I was on a wrestling team and we had tutors. If we didn't have tutors, I would have failed. But it's a lot of people failing because they're not being properly educated and prepared to succeed after high school. That's a problem. No, it's not just on the teachers. No, it's not. But the educational system cannot continue to fail our kids. It starts at home.
Yes, it does.
But we also got to make sure that our kids are going into these environments and they're being educated properly. They need smaller class sizes.
They need more resources.
Yes, sir.
And it's honestly time to derail the school to prison pipeline. There's too many kids getting suspended. Our kids get suspended more than anybody, but nobody's taking the time to sit down and ask our kids what happened last night.
All right now.
And that's the problem. They want to feed them with medication and things like that instead of addressing the issues.
That's right.
I know some of y'all might frown on me, but I know our community got an abundance of soul food restaurants, but we also lack any healthy alternatives. You just see a bunch of soul food, a bunch of greasy foods. That's a problem because it's killing us.
Yes, it is. I'm vegan. It's all good.
We're watching our grandparents grow old and they're dying faster because of the food we're eating. And nobody wants to say it. But we also must address, like Larry said earlier, the mental health and the trauma that a lot of us go through.
That's it.
Because even dealing with my best friend, it's something I had to deal with on my own in my college dorm. Nobody came to talk to me. I was wrestling. Everybody said, hey, we support you, but nobody was really sitting there talking to me. And there's a lot of people dealing with these problems every day and nobody's talking to them. Because we all dealing with them, so it's hard for us to take a step back and listen to our people. But we all must collectively support and vote for candidates like myself.
Yes, sir.
Because we got to take. But we must also take the responsibility to hold me accountable.
Yes,
if I mess up, come tell me.
Yes.
Keep it real with me. I can
you.
take constructive criticism. I'm not afraid to sit in the room and y'all ask me 1,000 questions. That's what I'm here for. Currently, Senator Chambers holds this seat, but I'm not Senator Chambers. I'm Terrell McKinney.
All right now.
And it's my mission to continue to fight for this community and build on the foundation that he has set for me. But to run a successful campaign, I need all y'all support. I need y'all to vote for me. I need y'all to donate to my campaign. I can't do this alone, and I won't be in Lincoln alone. Because I'm going to take y'all with me. I'm going to find ways to get our people in Lincoln, so our voices can be heard. You can visit my website, peopleforterrellmckinney.com. Follow me on Facebook, Terrell McKinney, LD11. And lastly, in the words of Brother Malcolm X, if we don't cast a ballot, it's going to end up in a situation where we're going to have to cast a bullet. It's either the ballot or the bullet. Thank you. All power to the people.
Just real quick before we bring up our other speaker, Zakai is here in the room, and I just wanted to present him with his award real quick. Sorry. Zakai to the front to get your award.
Here goes Zakai. Jaya.
Congratulations. Here's your self-determination award. Go ahead and stand in the middle for everybody to see. Click, click, click. Taking photos.
All right now.
Congratulations. All right, and then just real quick, because my nerves is going, I'm going to go ahead and blow out our candles that's been lighting so beautifully. Also, before I do that, Asair Brown to the front real quick. I love shouting this in my heart. All right, I'm gonna say something. I'm putting you on the spot real quick, okay? So you gotta remember, okay? Red, black, green. Red, black, green.
The blood, the people, the land.
All right. All right, Mr. Abraham to the front, please.
All right now.
Well, hey. How you doing there?
All right, all right.
So, you know, I look at the crowd and I see a lot of black, beautiful people. And I think about the struggles that we went through as a people. I was born on 24th Street, Logan Fontanelle Projects, brought home from St. Joe's Hospital, right to Logan Fontanelle. My mom, she was a nurse at St. Joe's Hospital for 30 years. So I know about the commitment and dedication when it comes to helping the people. My address was 1563 North 24th Street. She told me to remember my address because if anything happened to you, the people need to know where to bring you.
Yes.
I remember the days my window was facing Valley High. I would walk down the Easy Drive and I would get a lot of the candy and I would talk to the people. And I seen a lot of the issues that our people were facing. And I wanted to do something about it when I was young, but I was too young to do anything about it. So I sat back and thought, processed my thoughts. That's important. We talked about mental health, we talked about the disparities that's facing our community, and they're real. So I looked at my mother, I looked at my father, and I said, dang, how can I live up to their expectations? My mother, she was one of the first resident commissioners for Douglas County Housing Authority before it split from Omaha Housing Authority. And I don't know if you guys know the history about Omaha Housing Authority. Omaha Housing Authority was more the maintenance side, and Douglas County Housing was more the administrative side. My mom was one of the 7 women to sue the federal government to reformulate Section 8.
All right now.
And which created the Portability Act, which allows the housing choice voucher.
Thank you, Lord.
She knew that individuals shouldn't be only allowed to live in the projects. And she wanted better for the people. So she took that initiative to sue the federal government with the other 7 women to represent. That started right here in Omaha, Nebraska.
All right now.
I believe that gave me the inspiration to be one of the commissioners for Omaha Housing Authority for the last 3.5 years.
All right
And
now.
I was instrumental with addressing a lot of the disparities within our community. Mental health, lack of financial literacy, conflict resolution skills. Those are the 3 fundamental issues that's facing in this community today. So I took it on myself to convince the other board members to implement policies and procedures to work with community connectors or community partners to make these issues be addressed the appropriate way. One of the things that I did as a commissioner of Omaha Housing Authority is that I changed the criteria for housing, which allowed individuals that had felony convictions, gun violent convictions, to get housing vouchers after 2 years after conviction, versus 6 years after being incarcerated and have to wait another 6 years. I wanted to limit that because I understood that contributed to couch surfing and recidivism. I got resistance from my fellow commissioners because they said, hey, Steve, we're not contributing to recidivism. And I'm like, yes, we are. Because individuals that couch surf, they go right back to the similar environment that they left before they was incarcerated.
All right now.
And so I wanted to make that change so individuals have that hope or that inspiration to get into the homeownership program, to become homeowners.
Yes.
And so that they can see value within each other.
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that we don't see in each other is value.
Well.
So now it's time to implement that and put it back in reality.
Yes, it is.
Thoughts. Our thoughts. One of the other things I did as a community health worker at Charles Drew Health Center, working with the public housing department, is that I went in and went door to door, floor by floor, individually talking to individuals about the disparities that they face. It gave me a unique position to not only address the physical disparities that individuals encounter with mental health, but also housing disparities. I took that initiative personally because I've been through that lifestyle. Like I said, I lived in Logan Fontanelle Projects. I also lived in Stratford Square. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Stratford Square or where that's located, but that's located in South Omaha. So I had a unique perspective to say, hey, I know the disparities in North and South Omaha.
All right now.
I mentioned before that there's some processes that's taking place with the Spencer development and the South Terrace development. I wanted to make sure that the individuals had the first choice and the first opportunity to not only take advantage of the homeownership programs that's going to be implemented with this process, but also the business opportunities for small business owners. As you know, there's going to be a lot of changes in the future, but I have implemented processes to make sure African Americans take advantage of this. Now, I cannot force individuals to do such things. You have to take the initiative on yourself and empower and think and empower yourselves to get into the trades. Be part of the development process of the building of these structures. I implemented that process so that the residents will have the opportunity to take part in the development of their own properties. And that includes homeownership. I also understand the educational side. I worked at Saratoga Elementary for 5 years, pre-K to 6th grade. And there was a lot of issues that was facing Saratoga Elementary. You know, it's one of the schools that doesn't get a lot of funding, just, you know, typical of Omaha Public Schools. I was able to find that school bonds was tied into property taxes. And then we see the disparity in our housing. So I wanted to bring home ownership back. So I allowed 3,000 vouchers from the Omaha Housing Authority to be released. No one has ever done that before. So that individuals can be successful in the home ownership program. I'm also a council member of the Early Learning Center for Policies and Procedures. And I was able to convince the fellow council members to empower daycares, the local daycares, because there was a great fear. I had a great fear. I expressed this to the council, that this group was coming in, taking business from black independent daycare owners.
Yes, they did.
And so we created a process where we put $15 million into a pot and said, hey, listen, not only are we going to pay you $450 to take this 10-week course to be certified to be a learning center, but we're also going to credential you to be in code with the Head Start. So this will give the local daycares the opportunity to become learning centers and empower them and promote better business within our community. This is what I mean by sitting at the table and being that voice. Because if I wasn't there, guess what? They probably would have did whatever they wanted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Goes to my next announcement. Standing here on sacred ground, I'm Malcolm X, great ancestors.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think about Huey P. Newton. I think about my own mother that was part of the Black Panther Party here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes.
And I think about her because she always taught me about commitment. One of my other great ancestors, Judge Elizabeth Davis Pittman, she was instrumental as being the first African American to graduate from the law school of Creighton University.
Yes, she was.
And also the first African American judge in the state of Nebraska. Yes, and I take honor in that part right there. So, like I said, to announce that I will be running for City Council District 2 against Big Gray, because I feel that there is a necessary change that needs to take place within our community. I see the gang violence. Like I said, I grew up in Logan Fondell, so I know about the issues. I was born in the projects. I was born in the disparities that I'm talking about. So to have that unique position and that understanding, I feel that I will be able to not only work with community partners to bring in people with lived experiences like yourselves, like myself, to sit at the table, be that voice, be on the committees, be on the councils, be on the boards, so we can take our community back. We got to take our community back. Ain't nobody going to come and save us.
No.
We got to take our community back. So, yes, with that being said, the Black Agenda Alliance is that avenue, it is that key, it is that way so that we can be self-sufficient and to really, really strengthen ourselves, because not only one can do it, we can only be as strong as our community, and we are the community. We're looking at each other and we're saying, let us be powerful. So I challenge everyone in here, hey, get on the committee, get on the board, get on the council so that we can get in, get our voice at the table, so we can implement the right processes, so we can see a better, stronger North Omaha. And with that being said, peace.
How y'all feeling?
All right.
Y'all still low?
Yes.
We got one more speaker coming up to the stage. But before we do, I just wanted to ask everybody to get up on their feet real quick and stretch out a little bit, wiggle around a little bit. I wish I could. Do we got some music? Part of the African heritage is dance. We ain't had no dances today. We had a few groups that weren't able to make it today that we were hoping to get here to give y'all some entertainment, liven up the spirit a little bit in here. Are we able to play some music real quick? Are we? No? You wanna dance? She wanna dance, let her dance. Who know how to do a beat? Alright, we're gonna have brother and sister come entertain us for 2 seconds real quick. Come on, Jordan. Who can sing? Crystal, can you sing a tune? No? Shout out. Nobody want to sing a tune?
I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. 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 Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music. I don't need no music. Hey, I don't need no music.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate that, Mike. Up the spirit a little bit. We're gonna bring on our final guest speaker with some final words. Brother Terry Muhammad.
First, let me give praise to God.
All right.
I bear witness that there is but one God. We call Islam Allah. I bear witness that He appeared to us in 1930 in the person of Master Fark Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. I can never thank Him enough for raising amongst us a Georgia-born black man that only went to the 3rd grade. That He deposited Himself in that black man. And through that black man, He started a process of raising people out of a dead condition, in which we find ourselves today talking about what our condition is. After He left us, He left one in His place. And I can never thank them both enough, because I never met the 2 men that I'm talking about. I can never thank them enough for continuing on a blessing for us here in the hill of North America and blacks all over the world by continuing to bless us with none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Parker. And their name is gonna reach you. With the beauty words of peace and paradise of our ancestors, that's not foreign to how it is originally. Because those was the same greetings that one that we all got faith in and believed in spoke when he addressed and he came in the presence of any of the people that he was talking to. And that one that we know is as Jesus, the Christ.
All right now.
Whenever he came, that's how he did it. I want to kind of take a minute for what I'm going to say. It's to get you, first let me tell you, I am absolutely petrified. Because I know who I'm talking to. I know I don't want to just get up here just for your ears or whatever. I want to get up here as one that can, that's been a servant since I started to come to life and understanding and appreciate what was given to me as a child. When I say a child, at the age somewhere around 25, 26 years old. When I started understanding just the value of myself. My brother Johnny Noble, he's still here. He said something here one day that got my attention. You know what I mean? Because oftentimes we think people that stand outside of us is our enemy. He broke the word down, the inner me. And since I heard that, I had an understanding about it, but I never just heard it according to how he put it. He said the inner me. It's the one that I got to deal with, the one that I have to battle with, the one I have to get up in the morning and look at, the one that I have to make a change every day in a process to where I could be one that you can live with. Let me give you a quick, because you really don't know me if you weren't in that environment. My brother said that he could look out his window and look at Valley High. Is that what you said? Nothing that I brag about, but I understood who was standing in front of Valley High. I knew what was going on in front of Valley High, night and day, 24/7. You know what I mean? And I just happened to be part of that lifestyle that was standing in front of Valley High. I used to rob people. I used to kick people's doors in. I used to pull pistols on people. I was an intravenous drug user. I took what they call cough syrup, they call it lean today. I don't know what they call the pills, but I used to do the nod and also. Okay, I was just a perfect enemy of the inner me. You know, so it didn't sit well with me because I had a mother that she was a praying mother that didn't have a father. I knew him, but he wasn't not a provider. He didn't take care of the 5 children that he brought to the planet. But I had a mother. See, I'm at this age, I'm like a dinosaur to the most of y'all. But some of us that study history will understand what I'm saying. I had a mother in order to provide and bring us up out of a condition that we was in. She washed white people's clothes. Okay, she cleaned their toilets. She ironed their shirts. You know, so she that's what she was, a domestic housekeeper, and this was in the South. I think her salary probably was $5 a day. And she had 5 children. She taught me morals. She taught me how to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am. She taught me when I went through the neighborhood, you know, how to carry myself. You know, but like most of my young brothers and sisters in here, when they leave our house, they are confronted with other environments. And I was confronted with other environments. But don't nobody want to be scared. Don't nobody not want to participate. You want to have friends. You know what I mean? You want to associate. But oftentimes we didn't associate in good behavior. Okay, so I went from there and got exposed to what is called black exploitation movies. Anybody know what those are?
Yeah, Black Belt Jones.
Yeah, they still doing it today. You know what I mean? They just disguising it. You know what I mean? In movies like Colors. You know what I mean? And those movies that they put those brothers in that's got talent, but they put them in they depict them in ways to where that's what you think is what's going on and what's happening. So I said all of that to say this. But until one came and started cultivating me, and he gave me respect and understanding. And the greatest understanding that he gave me, because I was not a good friend of females, sisters, okay? I went to really because I didn't work. I did not work. I'm not bragging, because I'm really trying to make up for what I've done. I didn't work until after I became 28 years old, 29 years old. My lifestyle was a predator lifestyle. Okay? I stole, I robbed, I lived off the streets, you know what I mean? And that was popular because, you know what I mean, how you get your game over, you know what I mean, is not to go to jail and get caught. And then if you do go to jail, they cultivate you in jailhouse knowledge. And my brother kind of mentioned that. And then when you come out, you don't come out as a citizen to do good. You come out to continue to be a predator. And let me say this, sister, the biggest predator that black men in the street prey on is female. I hope y'all feeling me. And I want to say this because in all reality, I'm not going to be long because like I said, I'm scared to death. But there's certain things I have to put out here. You know what I mean? Because our community is still geared that way. You know, and I want to put this out there so that we can deal with this realistically. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that heaven lies at the feet of a woman.
All right now.
That a nation or a people can rise no higher than its woman.
Well.
And then if that's the case, and heaven lies at the feet of the woman, and when we are birthed into this world, we come through the canal of a woman. And where they got it fixed up now, that comes through the canal and the woman ends up at the foot of the woman. The problem with that is that those that's bringing us in, that our children see first, don't look like us. And whether or not you believe it or not, that child, as you was bringing that child and it was being formed in your womb, it also had intelligence while it was in the womb. So everything that was in the environment while you was bringing it forth also was being written. Whether people say, well, he came here knowing nothing, but he came here in an environment that had been put before him or her to act and respond accordingly. So Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the nature of a thing is determined by how it comes into existence.
Wow.
The Bible says you're born where? In sin and shaped in the
I don't believe it.
So we were dumped in a slave-like mentality from a slave master, and we took his mind on. And we function and we act according to how his mind is. So all of us right here, right now, have been bred into being what is called a white supremacist.
Well, help us, Lord.
Oh, no, I'm not. I look in the mirror. No, when you look in the mirror, you see a melanin skin color. But you are not functioning from a melanin skin color that's independent of the mentality of the white man that cultivated you.
Help us, Lord.
I got to say this, you know what I mean, because it's real. And the only way we're going to get out of this, brothers, the only way that we're going to get out of this, we got to come to a clear understanding of who the female is that led you unto her. She's our most valuable product. You say we just went through what's the day, 28? 3 days ago, they just put one of the greatest performers on earth on. And they lied, and they stole, they robbed about this man Jesus. They said that was his birthday. Because we so caught into repetitive things. And that's how they taught us over the years. and we just keep on going back and forth with this crazy mentality, and we won't let it go. You know what I mean? So if you got a Christmas tree in your house, go read Jeremiah 10:1.
That's true. It's in
All
the
right.
Bible.
Jeremiah. I don't know what they were celebrating at the time, I really do. But how can they be celebrating the birth of Jesus? And Jeremiah was a prophet that was 500 years before the birth of Jesus. Said, go not the way of the heathen, and just paraphrase. But the heathen is the one that goes into the woods where the workmen is at and chops down a tree. Take it and fasten it to the floor so that it can't move. Now they got a song like this. Then it says, deck it with what? Gold and silver. Be not amazed at it or afraid of it, because it can do you no harm. But these are heathenistic practices. So we say to our children, after they knocked the tree down, who did it? And they all sit there looking. Who did it? Well, I know you did. Girl, I know you did. They look. Did you do it? No, I didn't do it. Did you do it? No, I didn't do it. But they did something that you didn't realize that you had taught them to do, but now you want to beat the hell out of them because they did it. And that's why. You lied to them. Now you want somebody that you lied to about an event to tell you the truth. Is you done lost your...
Right. Never laugh.
Think about it. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the brain was created to move or to receive truth. That we function and operate on truth. Jesus said that truth will do what? Set you free. But if I'm being lied to and I'm accepting the lie, I absolutely is killing the very brain cell that'll get me up out the condition that I'm in. So we have to feed on truth. We stop looking at each other as enemies. Now I want to come to something and I'm going. Okay. Our women have to start cultivating or being cultivated. Brothers, we have to support them in cultivation, and we cultivating ourselves. Take on the responsibility that's been given us. We're producing children that we're not taking care of. We let other men come in the houses where our daughter's at because she feels that she has a need and a desire to be fed and utilized because she is one that needs love and compassion. Is that just her nature? When I was in the world and I used to go on these different nights, although there was one, I'm going to just tell you the truth, y'all know to tell you the truth. They were one night stand, but in whenever I left, I can look and I can see in her, that's not really what she wanted to do. She just wanted to be consoled. She just wanted to be whole. She just wanted to be needed. And she just wanted to be loved. And she, in her cultivation in this world, she was expecting something that I wasn't believing. So I become, and I'm on this journey. And that's why when I look around the room and I see Leo, I see Kwanzaa. Yes. When I see him, look, I'm that one that's ready to pass the baton. I ain't not ready to die. Okay?
All right now.
You know what I mean? But I love when I look up and I see these brothers. I met these brothers some years ago. Okay? And they still fighting and struggling. And people want to judge them. You can't judge them because guess what? Anything that's dead is not in motion. They are in motion, although they're struggling to find themselves. You know, and that's what they're struggling against. They're struggling with a system that's set up and that can conquer the world. We ain't talking, look, this white man in America that conquered the world. Okay? Just think about somebody that want to stand up and go against the grain of this system, you know what I mean, and fight for what you need to be done and become perfect examples of what a male should be. So I have to give this praise to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on this little bar time. Because in between those two, we got Malcolm. Okay? Malcolm was a perfect husband. Okay? Malcolm was a moral man. Malcolm loved his people. You know what I mean? So I read the ballad of the King. You understand? You know what I mean? 15 years old, on drugs, sitting down, slobbing, get up, look at it, read Malcolm, the ballad of the book. At Technical High School. The reason why they closed it down, I can't get into it right now. You know what I mean? The Giants came out of Technical High School.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to other schools right now. I'm just going to tell you about that's where I went. Guess what? I actually graduated. I started on drugs at 13 years old.
Well.
So when they started doing this is nothing new, brothers and sisters. Smoking the bud. The best Hennessy, Cavassier. Yeah, just dark. I just like dark women, so I guess I'm an alcohol addict. No, I'm just saying. I came here because I love you. I engaged at this point the majority of my life trying to recultivate myself so that I can be an example for the young brothers and sisters that I come in contact with. So we brothers got a responsibility. Go study, sisters, Mary, the mother of Jesus. If it's not too hard for you to take in concept what she went through, because they say that Jesus was what? The Immaculate Conception. Stop it and listen to the verbiage. Jesus was the Immaculate Conception. No, the Immaculate Conceived. Y'all got it? Is y'all rolling with me?
Yeah.
Come on, I just need to know you're rolling with me. So the Immaculate Conceived, she brought to the planet was that one that as it was cultivated, people started saying that he was the what? Son of what? God. That's what each and every one of you sisters that can produce is a God. We've got to stop producing killers. We got to stop producing liars. We got to stop all this stuff. And our very existence, our very condition comes through your womb. So you need to know and understand just how important you is. May Allah continue to bless you, guide you, protect you, heal you with the life of understanding, the Moja.
Stand by our side, brothers.
Thank you.
All right, we just wanted to thank all the gods and goddesses that spoke to us today. If you feel like you learned something, gained something from tonight, I need a round of applause, please. With that being said, we're going to get everybody ready to eat. If we have any elders who need assistance, because the food is downstairs, so it have to go up and down the stairs. So if you are an elder who needs assistance, I just need a hand, and then I'll count how many plates we need to make, and we'll bring your plates up to you.